And so this morning or this afternoon, we're going to talk about a few things about the parenting market today. We're going to talk about the tone we need to use. We're going to talk about the topics that are hot for parents today, and a few of the technicalities we need to remember. But first, I want to do a quick rundown of what makes us different. And there's those buzzwords today, modern and postmodern, that we do need to pay attention to and we need to kind of think about when we're talking about parents today and parents maybe when we were parents or younger parents. When I was a younger parent, I'm heavily in the modernist camp. Modern thinking. And modern thinking is very rational. It's very linear. It's very objective and absolute. If there is a cause, there is this effect. A causes B. That's it. That's the way it works. Today's parents, they're not so linear. They're not so objective. They've turned from the rational, logical pattern to feelings and to experience, and to the idea that there's not one right way to parent. Instead of having kind of an equation, A equals B or A flows to B, they have a flow chart. If this, then maybe these other three things happen. They know there's no clear cause and effect. So they're not nearly the rational, linear people we are. They're more experience oriented, and that's going to be important. Modern thinking was all about stability and control. How can I control this thing called parenting? How can I make it stable? And today's parenting audience isn't about stability. They kind of don't believe it exists. They've turned to embrace that uncertainty, that contingency, that subjectivity that we had a really hard time with as parents. And so they don't work on that control idea that we did. Modern thinking works highly on autonomy and individuality. I'm going to draw my little nuclear family around me, and we're going to solve this problem, and I'm going to deal with it, and we will all work just, as our little unit. That's not the way it works anymore. Modern parents, or postmodern parents, they've turned to community. They've turned to crowdsourced parenting. They know that it takes a village to raise a child, and they have no problem with that. They like this community idea of parenting. And that's going to come back really important later as we talk about topics and tones. So we need to keep these differences between modern thinking and postmodern thinking in mind as we go through all these things we're going to talk about. Because it's definitely postmodern people we're talking to now as parents. And we have to be able to get inside that way of thinking and their heads to be able to really communicate with those people. So before we turn to tone in our writing for parents, I want to do a little bit of studying of what they're reading and what blogs they're looking at, what articles they're looking at. I go into blog metrics and I can find out what are the most popular parenting blogs. And when I read these blogs, just going to read the blog titles and the subtitles, I want you to tell me what you think that says about the parents who are reading them. What are their values and what's important to them?